Hello, my viewers. Welcome to Ethics Institute of East Africa. This is an institution that carries out training, advisory, and advocacy around ethics, integrity, leadership, and now whistleblowing. We are based in Kenya, but our mandate spreads across East Africa. And my discussion today is based on a very important discussion. It is on whistleblowing within East African region. Today in Kenya, we woke up to very disturbing news about the officer who unearthed the SHA. SHA is the Social Health Hospital, Social Health Authority fraud scandal that rocked that particular facility for some time, where 1,300 rogue hospitals were believed to be filing false claims and getting money from the Social Health Authority. This guy, the man who blew the whistle, my brother Andrew Rotich, has reportedly, allegedly, and I don't want to be misquoted, has lost his job. I don't know how true it is, but that is what has been flashed on the Nation, on a Daily Nation report of 26th September 2025. Now, who is a whistleblower? First of all, a whistleblower is a person within an organization, inside the organization, who sees something happening. He has documentary evidence and he would like this investigated, but he cannot use the internal mechanism because of fear of retaliation or victimization. And this is very common within the public sector organizations. Although now with the enactment of the Unbribery Act in Kenya that brings on board private sector organizations, we will start seeing this also happening within private sector organizations. And today's my rallying call to both private and public sector organizations is that please put in place mechanisms that can be able to protect whistleblowers. Now, let me speak this from my own experience. That whistleblowers are not the corporate enemies. They are not liabilities. They are not bad people. They are simply patriotic citizens trying to stop the mismanagement of resources within the institutions where they are working or where they have come into contact with. And if you are a good leader, you are a CEO, you are a corporate leader, and you come into contact with a whistleblower, this is an asset for the organization. Reward them, protect them, all right, motivate them. Anytime they see such issues, they should come and report. Unfortunately, for many years, whistleblowers in Kenya have fallen victims. I was a whistleblower within public sector organization, and until today, I still have the wounds of reporting malpractices within public sector organizations. Whistleblowers within East Africa have had very rough. But to be honest, within the East African region, East Africa as a region ranks highly in terms of corruption perception levels. And this is reported by Transparency International. And maybe it even fares worse in terms of having the capacity to combat fraud and corruption within their own respective countries. Despite the fact that these countries have put in place oversight mechanisms to stop fraud and corruption, still much need to be done. I will give a very good example of the office of the president, the anti-corruption unit in the president's office in Uganda, Yoweri Museveni's office. It's doing a commendable job in terms of playing oversight role. We also have the IGG in Uganda also doing a very good job. Then we have the Office of the Auditor General in Uganda doing a commendable job. That's just across the border from Kenya. We also have the EACC in Kenya. They are doing a very good job in terms of ensuring that these scandals are investigated. But they will be supported much more by an elaborate Whistleblower Protection Act, which we don't have in Kenya. But in Uganda, we have the Whistleblowers Protection Act, which provides that 5% of what can be discovered to have been lost, and it is recovered from Uganda. If you are a whistleblower, it will be given to you. 5% will be given to you for supporting the detection and prevention of fraud and corruption in Uganda. Whistleblowing is a very key thing, and Ethics Institute of East Africa views that putting in place whistleblowing protection programs within our regional bloc is not the mandate of only public institutions, but also private sector organizations. We need to play a major role, all of us, private and public sector organizations, to protect whistleblowers. What Andrew Rotich has gone through, or what others, especially the Masai Mara University accountant and the one who blew the whistle on the Anglo leasing, is not what whistleblowers should be going through. Whistleblowers need to be celebrated, to be encouraged, to be motivated, to be rewarded. Unfortunately, they suffer the consequences of not having proper programs to be put in place to stop corruption and fraud. Whistleblowing is one of the effective means of facilitating detection of fraud and corruption within East Africa. And we are still at a very wrong footing because globally, WC, Global Economic Crime Survey of 2022, East African report highlighted that whistleblower tip-offs continue to play a very important role in detection and deterrence of fraud in the region. Moreover, statistics from 2022 occupational fraud report issued by the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners examined 2,000 occupational fraud cases across 133 countries. And they have indicated that roughly 42% of the fraudulent activities were detected as a result of whistleblower tip-offs. And that tells you how important it is. And this one, this was nearly 3 times the number of incidents detected in comparison with the next most effective method, internal audits. So you can imagine if we were to combine internal audits and whistleblowing, the results will be very positive in terms of deterring corruption and fraud. The role of whistleblowing can be further appreciated through statistics, reported corruption cases in Uganda and Kenya. For example, in June 2023, the Inspector General of Government in Uganda reported they were investigating 5,000 cases of corruption that had been reported through whistleblowing channels. We also have observed EACC launch multiple investigations of multi-billion shilling corruption cases and fraud, all of them within government ministries and government ministries, corporations, and other or government institutions. It is also noting that the IGG in Uganda encourages, and I've said this previously, that you will get 5% of what would have been recovered as an incentive once it is recovered, as provided for in the Whistleblowing Protection Act. In Kenya, we don't have this, and therefore I am calling upon my president, a man I love so much, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Kindly, if there is something you can do to help this country, is to put in place a Whistleblowing Protection Act. It was drafted and placed somewhere on the shelves. Call upon the AG. Call your AG to retrieve that document and have it taken to Parliament for enactment. We want it like yesterday. If we don't enact that law, we will continue having Mr. Joseph Okhako, the CEO, speaking here, who has also gone through the same problem. We'll continue having Andrew Rotich. We'll continue having the Masai Mara victim. We'll continue having the Anglo-leasing victim, and the cases will continue. We are creating case studies that are not supposed to be there globally. Those people that have attempted to come forward in Kenya, to blow the whistle over corruption and fraud in Kenya, have been victims of corruption, cartels, and fraudsters. They have gone through painful moments, and even some have lost their lives, and some lost their jobs. Based on our experience as Ethics Institute of East Africa, during a training on ethics, integrity, and leadership, we've come across so many institutions that don't even have whistleblowing policies in place, standalone whistleblowing policies. They have them put somewhere in HR, they are put somewhere in certain policies besides that. And therefore, even some employees don't know whistleblowing channels in those institutions. And that's why they end up going to external agencies. Now, my experience as a corporate leader is that when you have a whistleblower within your organization, you are at ease, because any information that you will not be able to see, and if that whistleblower sees them, you will benefit from that information. That whistleblower must be celebrated, must be rewarded. Don't victimize them. They are not corporate enemies. They are not corporate liabilities. They are very important people for the growth of your organization. The reputation of an institution is better handled when you allow whistleblowing programs to actively support corruption in the organization. This means that any potential whistleblower in those institutions that don't have whistleblowing protection programs, any potential whistleblower will not be comfortable reporting, because they know they can be victimized at any time. Imagine where we had that in place. We'll be seeing less and less fraudulent activities. If whistleblowers were put in place to enhance and facilitate safe reporting, confidentiality, and anonymously in East Africa, within both and private sector organizations, I am sure will not be having very many fraud and corruption cases. They will be investigated and people will be scared of being involved in corruption and fraud cases. Now, organizations will also be given early opportunity to detect and deter and ensure misbehavior is not encouraged in those institutions. Deterring fraudsters and corruption officials within government institutions requires whistleblowing, like yesterday. The issue we sing about tone at the top can only work when a CEO encourages the enactment of a whistleblowing policy. And most institutions we have talked to, they are scared. They say, how do we come up with a policy that is not supported by an act of parliament? And that's why I'm talking to our parliamentarians, wherever you are. Please enact the whistleblowing policy, the whistleblowing act. Today you are in parliament, tomorrow you are not there. Give us something we can go, we can go home with as we leave you, as you leave parliament. That at least I played a role in enacting the whistleblowing act. As Ethics Institute of East Africa, we are very much conversant with the issues of whistleblowing. And we call upon private and public sector organizations in East Africa to enhance whistleblowing programs as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we'll continue having these people losing jobs, continue having these people being maimed, being victimized, and retaliation against them for no good reason. I have been a victim. As a whistleblower, I've been a victim. And I know my brother Andrew Rotich is having it very rough at the moment. But I want to call upon you, my brother Andrew Rotich. You are not alone. We've been there. If whatever you are doing is right, it's not out of malice. God will always vindicate you. We have a whistleblowing protection program at Ethics Institute of East Africa, where we are listing all whistleblowers to come forth, register as members. Membership is free. You register, we network you with global participants like you. You will attend our programs on how to deal with matters whistleblowing. You will be networked with other players like you who are also whistleblowers or previously whistleblowers. We have expert people within our network who supports whistleblowing, whistleblowers. The only thing you need to do is to register and commit yourself to be a member of the Ethics Institute of East Africa, and we will network you as much as possible. I want to ask again our global, our regional heads of states for the EAC countries, that one of the things you need to do for us is to ensure we have Whistleblowers Protection Act in place in your respective countries. And for the corporate leaders, the CEOs, private and public sector organizational CEOs within Kenya and East Africa at large, please ensure you have whistleblowers protection programs in your institutions. We will provide this at a very subsidized rate because we know what entails. We will provide it, the requisite policies to support whistleblowers in your organization. And once again, I am reiterating my statement that whistleblowers are not enemies. They are not corporate enemies. They are not liabilities. They are actually assets. Anytime a CEO you come into contact with a whistleblower, protect them, incentivize them, reward them, motivate them, because they may be the only people who will save your integrity, who will save your ethical standing in that organization, because you are able to get information that others may not have seen. Kindly support whistleblowers protection programs. They are very important and they are very good in supporting fraud and corruption deterrence and detection. Thank you so much, and continue watching us, continue listening to our programs at Ethics Institute of East Africa. In the next 2 weeks, we are having one of the best programs we are running, Advanced Level 2 training program on ethics and integrity. We just completed the Ethics and Integrity Learning Forum at the coastal city of Kenya in Mombasa. We had wonderful people discussing matters, ethics and integrity, and whistleblowing as well. And now we are heading to the Nakuru County at the Lake Naivasha Crescent Tented Camp, where we'll be discussing ethics and integrity and whistleblowing, but at a very advanced level. We have started receiving registrations, and we look forward to having full house from different organizations within East Africa. I've seen a lot of support from South Sudan, Ethiopia, Uganda, and Tanzania, and Kenya at large. So many prominent organizations coming forward to send their employees for training. And we look forward to meeting you in Naivasha for this wonderful training, Ethics and Integrity Level 2. Ethics and Integrity Training Level 2 for all both public and private sector organizational members. We look forward and we will always be partners in ensuring corruption and fraud is stopped within the East African region. Thank you so much for watching me and listening to me. And please go to our YouTube page, like and share so that you can be able to support the programs we are running within the East African region. And finally, I would like to say that those whistleblowers who are interested in becoming members of Ethics into East Africa, please go to our website. There are a lot of information about whistleblower and registration. Fill the form on our website and send to us. We'll enlist you and more information will be communicated to you as we move forward. You will be networked, you will be supported, you will be trained on how to carry on with your respective professions you are undertaking before you fall victim to fraud and corruption. And don't fear about supporting others or motivating others to be whistleblowers. A whistleblowing is part of fraud and corruption prevention mechanisms. Apart from training and audit, it plays a major role in ensuring there is no corruption and fraud within the organization. Thank you so much and continue watching us.